Today we have 3 on points lined up for you. In on point 1, a passport may open up borders, but can it prove citizenship? As India says, passport is only a travel document. The big question now is, what should Indians really rely on? In on point 2, Vijay is, where is your father Jai has turned Tamil Nadu politics personal? Stalin hits back from outside the assembly. As by-polls near, the big question is this: is the DMK preparing for Stalin's comeback? In on point 3, a voice from Russia, exclusive on News9. As the Ukraine war drags on and the world order shifts, how does Moscow view India's stand? And can New Delhi balance old friendship with new global pressure? And now let's take a quick look at the headlines. V.K. Pandian's wife Sujata Raut Karthikeyan joins BJD, marking her formal entry into politics after a long bureaucratic career. PM Modi meets Amazon CEO Andy Jassy. Andy shares a post announcing investment of 48 billion over the coming 5 years, including 21 billion in AI and cloud infrastructure. Rahul Gandhi demands resignation of Dharmendra Pradhan over remarks on protesting students being called as terrorists, calls the education system an extortion racket. Deadly quakes of magnitude 7.2 and 7.6 jolt Venezuela, over 150 killed and 900 injured. Authorities warn the death toll could rise further.
¡No! ¡No! ¡Se cayó!
A small blue booklet has now triggered a big national question. For years, most Indians believe that if a passport says your nationality is Indian, it is proof that you are an Indian citizen. But the government has now clarified that legally a passport is not proof of citizenship. It is only a travel document. That one line has opened up much larger debate. If the Indian passport is not enough to prove Indian citizenship, then what is? The government's position is based on a legal distinction. The passport is issued under the Passports Act of 1967. Citizenship, however, is decided under the Citizenship Act of 1955. Officials argue that these two are separate legal tracts. One law regulates a document used for travel. The other determines the legal status of a person as an Indian citizen. So the government's message is clear. A passport may help you travel, but it does not legally settle your citizenship. But this is exactly where the anger begins. A passport is not a casual ID card. It is issued by the Government of India after documents are checked, addresses are verified and police verification is carried out. It identifies holders by name, nationality and place of issue. It is accepted at immigration counters across the world. So people are asking a fair question: if the Indian state issues the document after verification, why is the same state now saying it is not proof enough? There is also a code-backed nuance here. Passport can be strong evidence of citizenship but not conclusive evidence. That means it may very categorically support your claim, but it may not finally prove it. The government says that the real proof lies in documents like birth certificate or a citizenship certificate for those who were granted citizenship. But in a country where civil registration has not been uniform for decades, this creates a serious administrative problem for ordinary Indians. For years, many people have treated the passport as the strongest symbol of citizenship. In several countries, including United States, United Kingdom, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, Ireland, Italy, Cyprus, a passport is generally accepted as proof of citizenship, but not everywhere. In countries like Canada, Germany and France, a passport may be strong evidence, but it may still not be enough in legal proceedings. Nationality review or citizenship applications. Authorities can ask for birth records, citizenship certificates or supporting documents. Now, on top of it, there is an important issue here. In 2013, the Bombay High Court ruled very specifically that the passport cannot be the sole document for your citizenship. So there is also a legal aspect here, which the Bombay High Court had made it very, very clear. On this issue, I am joined by Brijesh Pandey, input editor News9, Yashovardhan Azad, former Special Director, Intelligence Bureau, Secretary Security, Rajiv Kumar Pandey, spokesperson BJP, Bhanuchandra Nagarajan, political analyst, advocate Nikhil Jain, Asma Taslim, spokesperson Congress. But let me straight away go to Mr. Yashovardhan Azad first. Sir, to you, is it such a big issue
Well, I really wonder now because passport is certainly one of the strongest, evidence of one's, nationality. And of course, I mean, passport can be issued to anyone by the Indian government. But how many cases are like these? So, if on the basis of the fact that this is not a legal document for citizenship, if the foreign countries don't recognize your nationality as an Indian, what is going to be the repercussion? It's going to be something very drastic. That's number one. Number two is that is there anything which then proves your citizenship? Yes, I know birth certificate, etc. For the elections, there were a clutch of cards which you wanted to prove your that you're eligible for a voter even. So if Aadhaar does not mean anything except getting the social delivery, schemes, if PAN, of course, is also restricted to a few people, driving license is not, then and now passport has also been declared as not a document. Then what is it? I mean, do you want a national register for citizenship? And what is it do you actually, how do you define citizenship then? 1955 says very clearly, born after 1950 because of this, 1987, 2003. But by saying this, that this is not the document, you have generated another debate for which you have not given a solution. Yes, the Bombay court said that this is not the full requirement for a citizenship because some people are not given, some people are also given who are not citizens. That, of course, any state can do. You can give it as a matter of honor also. But how many are there? The nationality is written. That's why I'm saying at a point like this has created a much confusion. And the government should now clarify that what should we recognize as a clear citizen? What do you need for a citizenship? These are the three documents. Which are the three documents?
Okay, let me go across to Rajiv Kumar Pandey, spokesperson BJP. Sir, your opening comments.
My opening comment is, sir, that Ministry of External Affairs has already clarified this position. Passport Act provides that who can hold Indian passport. Citizenship Act is governed under Indian Citizenship Act 1955. It talks about that how you can acquire a citizenship in India. But at certain point of time, this passport can be given to some other people also for who is coming for shelter or he wants to travel outside India. And the basic test is that passport can be revoked under Section 20. If you find anything wrong, any information supplied, it can be revoked. An infiltrator who has got the passport, if people come to know that he has supplied some wrong documents, passport can be revoked. But if citizenship is granted, because either by birth or under Citizenship Amendment Act or by any other means, whatever is the criteria laid down under the Indian Citizenship Act 1955, then you can't remove until due process of law. So both are on completely different footing, sir. And it is clarified. And why it is happening? I think a senior IPS officer was saying why it is coming. It is coming because in this country, for last 75 years, several government has come. What has happened? How many people from outside have entered into India? How come from the people, Burma, people are not entering into China, but coming all the way from there to India and getting, after making payments, getting some documents? You have seen in 2012, in Delhi and Mumbai, riots have taken place. And now out of those some people, they are having passport. What to do with that? The issue is very simple. We will have to clean up things. Like you see, right now SIR is going on. So there is an intensive revision. Same way, if some people have got passport by the wrong means, or somebody, like what is Aadhaar card? Aadhaar card is only for identifying the person's identity. Same way, PAN number is only for income tax. Passport is for travel.
Okay, Rajiv. So you made your point. I've already said that in the introduction when I came, that there are two different acts which governs two different things. One is the passport, another citizenship. Let me quickly take the opening comments. Asma, to you.
Hello to my co-panelists. The pertinent point which I want to make right now is If not passport, if not Aadhaar card, if not PAN card, and if not driving license, what should be universally accepted citizenship document as per the government? If you say this is not acceptable, that is not acceptable, what is the solution you provided to the people? You just left the people in the vulnerability. What are they supposed to do? Now you are conducting SIR revision and you say this document is not acceptable. The onus is on citizens to prove their citizenship. And as long as you don't provide a solution, where should they go? What should they do about? You just strip off the citizenship of the people based on these documents. What is the solution to this problem when BJP says that it is just a... See, I'm not questioning the legal binding here. As a citizen of a nation, if somebody does not have a birth certificate, if somebody does not have XYZ certificate, then how that citizen must prove his citizenship here? If you are saying that all these documents don't prove your citizenship, but one thing, the passport itself has written on it, the nationality is Indian.
Okay.
Where it is acceptable to the
How
other
do you-
nation,
okay.
why it is not acceptable
Okay.
to us?
Okay, Asma, let
So
me just
remove that blank.
let me
Keep
take-
it that
Can I
blank
just say
as
one
it
line?
is.
Rajiv, just let me take opening comments from everyone, let me take just opening comments from everyone. Bhanuchandar, to you, there is a High Court ruling of 2013, Bombay High Court. And, no one can now, it can't be part of that political narrative. It happened when UPA was in power. The government at that point of time did not contest it. So my question to you is very simple. I don't want to do this sectional debate right now on this. What is spawning this debate? The larger issue is then people are asking, how do you prove your citizenship? The most, I would say, intrusive, if I may use the word, or the tight security check is done when you actually want to get your passport done.
That is the strongest.
I think it's the only time when the officers from LIU department, they visit your home. In no other government verification, local intelligence unit officials come to your place except passport verification, and they do it physically. So that's my question to you, Bhanuchandar.
See, for all practical purposes, passport is the proof of citizenship, except for in rarest of rare cases when there is a dispute on parentage, fraud, etc., etc. This is the statement that the Ministry of External Affairs spokesperson should have said. On the other hand, what he did was make idiotic statements based on some legalese and bureaucracies and cause incalculable psychological harm to citizens, not only here, but also citizens living outside India. It's not about people like people who travel abroad for vacation. People like many poor citizens work in the Gulf, and many times they have to surrender their passports. Just think about their psychological state and their kin's psychological state. It is absolutely crazy, and like it opens up like other possibilities of harassment. So think about an enemy state or a rogue state, say China. Okay, China can actually just round up an Indian citizen and can say that like even your own country is not is disputing passport, your citizenship based on passport. So we can actually just like take you in. Okay, it can be solved later, but we are leaving scope for harassment, right? So the media is great in actually sort of covering this issue. I have a couple of requests for them. One is to not parrot the government statement that 2013 mein ho gaya. That doesn't solve people's problems. Second is they have to extract a proper, clear statement from the Ministry of External Affairs. And thirdly, name and shame the bureaucrat, not just say a nameless South Block Mandarin. Name and shame the bureaucrat and get him fired and make sure he doesn't actually appear before the people.
Okay. Brijesh?
Well, I think, if you keep the politics aside, if you look at the issue in totality, I find it extremely bizarre. We were, when Aadhaar was introduced, we were told that it's a one pill panacea for all your ills. Like, this is one magical document which will make you get everything. And, you can, this document is one document which is going to make all your life easier. You don't have to go looking for further documents. Your biometrics was taken, your birth certificate was taken, your age proof was taken. All of those documentation was taken, and we were given Aadhaar cards. What happened to the Aadhaar card? All of a sudden, one fine morning, we woke up to the fact or the reality that Aadhaar can't be used as like, it's not a proof of citizenship. It's just a proof of your identity. Now that was extremely baffling. Like, what kind of statement is that this is only a proof of your identity? The same is the case with passport. The most rigorous set of security protocols are done when you issue a passport. You know, anybody who is, and all of us, I think, are passport holders. When you go inside, you know, there are several layers of checks. All your documents, which otherwise are listed as a, which defines your nationality as an Indian citizen, all of those documents are there. And I completely agree with Bhanu. You know, when you say that if passport is just a travel document but does not prove your nationality. Now suppose if a country which is inimical, if he catches hold of me and say that prove you are Indian, I'm carrying an Indian passport, boss, that should be the proof of the fact that I'm an Indian. But if they use the Ministry of External Affairs, say that it's just a travel document, it's not an Indian citizen document.
Rajiv, don't worry, I'm going to come to you. You have your time.
Again, I'm not making it government versus like Congress versus BJP. I'm not making it because 2013, the court said it, the court should have used a better phrasing in its infinite wisdom. And like, you know, the government should come out clean once for all as to what constitutes, what makes you an Indian citizen, which exactly one document. But it is like kind of prevaricating. I'll just take 10 more seconds. It's like, you know, when somebody said that, you know, when a case went to court, they said that, you know, whether all of this, whether you have taken that shot for COVID. And then the government in the court said, no, we didn't pressurize anybody. But the fact of the matter was there was no way on earth you could travel in train or you travel take any flight unless you have that COVID vaccine certificate. So it's like, you know, all of this, you know, prevaricating around the real issue and not making it clear is like, is baffling to say the least.
Nikhil.
Karthikeya, I think the political points have already been made. So let me address the legal aspect of it. If you open the Passports Act 1967, the very objective of the act says an act to issue passport and travel document. That has to mean that passport in itself is different from a travel document. Further, if you look at Section 6, subsection 2, subclause A of the Act, it says that a passport can be rejected to a person on the ground that he is not a citizen of India. If you look at Section 12, subsection 1A, it says that if a non-citizen obtains a passport by suppressing information about his nationality, he can be imprisoned for minimum 1 year, extending up to 5 years plus fine. Section 20, a non-citizen of India can be granted a passport, but only if the central government is of the opinion that is necessary to do so in public interest. So is my friend from the BJP or anyone from the government telling me that all the Ghuspaitias who've gotten a passport were issued a passport saying that it is important in the public interest of India to give this non-citizen Ghuspaitia a passport? I really don't understand that. Then a point is raised about a birth certificate, that perhaps a birth certificate is the proof of citizenship. No, it is not. This is not America. We do not have the principle of citizenship by birth. So even if you do have a birth certificate, that's proof of you being born in India, not you being a citizen of India. Even if I am to assume that is a proof of citizenship, let me tell you the data from the Registrar General of India. As of 1996, only 54.5% people born in India were issued a birth certificate. By 2007, this figure had increased to 74.5%. That leaves us with hundreds of millions of people born in India who won't have a birth certificate, citizen or not. Lastly, the BJP spokesperson says once the citizenship is granted, you can't take it away by due process. But apparently the passport can be cancelled by the government. So is that the entire idea, that I want to strip away citizenship from people without following the due process of law? And let me tell you, being very candid, I think you should follow the due process of law because we all know how the due process of law has been working in this country. There comes this bizarre judgment by the Bombay High Court in 2013. To the best of my knowledge, that judgment has been appealed before the Supreme Court. 13 years later, the Supreme Court is very well acting as it should, as it perhaps should not. I'll leave for your viewers to do.
Okay. Rajiv, before I come to you, I'll go to Mr. Azad.
You know, I have a very limited point to make that, you know, the idea that government, whenever says anything or makes a statement or an assertion, it should be to clarify, not to confuse. The second point is, in this case, it has created such a huge confusion. And all the speakers have talked about what confusion it is going to create for India, for those passport holders abroad. That's number one. Secondly, by talking about this passport, the whole issue has opened again as how do I go and I say that I'm Indian citizen if none of my documents are valid for anything? If you see, all the requirements for the passport are the requirements for citizenship. And as you already said, that is the toughest call to if you're getting a passport. So if the government, third point is my last point, is that if the government says that this is also not a document for your citizenship, then it should clarify कि हम सड़क पे जाके कैसे बताएं कि हम Indian citizen है. Tell us, what do we do? What are the other documents? Because as rightly said by somebody, birth certificate to sabke paas hai nahi. So what are we going to do? One thing is there I can suggest. Now for all the newborn babies, you can put chips already. So that will be the best thing as of now to say that you're a Indian citizen.
Okay, okay.
Does the chip have to
Okay,
be
no, no, wait, no.
The chip is a nerve.
Let me go to Rajiv. Rajiv.
Sir, the basic issue is that this is a bizarre argument.
Okay,
that if
let
somebody
me add just one more caveat. You may also address that. Rajiv, why is this anxiety stemming from? You represent the ruling party of this country, which has been in power for more than a decade. Do you think that this anxiety is also stemming from the fact that there are a lot of, for example, SIR verification drive has
Sir, I'm coming to that
where
point,
a lot of people were not able to cast votes because the political chatter, anxiety,
there are many
narrative,
people-
whichever word may use, it has to have a social subtext. So I'm saying that there has to be a reason why this debate has acquired a life of its own.
Absolutely, I completely agree with you. First of all, this is a bizarre argument that if somebody is in China with Indian passport and somebody says, Acha, this is not the proof of your identity. For Chinese, once India has given passport and he has gone on the visa based on our passport, so they can't question this. It is a post facto if somebody comes to know tomorrow that somebody has obtained this passport by supplying fake documents, like in Mumbai. You know how people were giving certificate. I don't want to comment about some rogue officers in Mumbai. So I don't want to comment about this. Now the issue is, you talked the right point about the SIR. This matter was tested by before Honorable Supreme Court of India. 18 documents were listed out there. Only those people who are trying that infiltrators should get all kind of benefits, even passport also, they are supporting, they will oppose this. I am saying in Supreme Court, Honorable Supreme Court of India has given 18 documents. I am giving you the list of documents. I am giving you the list of documents which will show that you can prove. First is birth certificate, then birth certificate during the period, then school living certificate. If you don't have a school living certificate, land of ownership record. If you don't have that, your parents' certificate of in the name of voter list. In the voter list, your parents' name, your grandparents' name. Who are the people in this country whose grandparents' name are not there in the voter list, but they want to cast the vote in this country?
But can I tell you, Rajiv, there are a lot of people.
There will be a problem.
No. I'll be very honest with you. Both me and my wife, we are working journalists, and my wife really had a problem on this. I stay in Sector 50 Noida,
Sir,
and
I'm saying,
the grandparents' name was not there. So ये मत कहिए. मतलब मैंने क्यों में खड़ा होके बनवाया है? 5 घंटे. हाँ, तो ऐसा नहीं है कोई वीवीआईपी ट्रीटमेंट हो रहा था मेरा.
सुनिए ना सर, मुझे भी बनवाना पड़ा है. मैं मुंबई में जब
पासपोर्ट बहुत कठिन था. It was not a, you don't say, it was not a smooth thing. It was very tough, boss.
सुनिए, तब होगा, क्योंकि इस देश में सालों से आप इंपोर्ट कर रहे थे, वोटर भी इंपोर्ट कर रहे थे, नेता भी इंपोर्ट करते हैं. तो उसके लिए हमको भी, अभी मैं बता रहा हूँ, I am a practicing advocate. I am working practicing in Supreme Court of India as well as Bombay High Court. Even I had to bring my documents from Bihar to get my passport done. What is wrong in that? My parents' name.
No. Let's not get into the SIR. Let's get into the issue of citizenship.
I am saying.
I was just trying to tell you that you were making the entire SIR exercise look like a cakewalk. It was not, sir.
You know, sir.
SIR was also not citizenship.
It was a voting exercise. It was a voting exercise.
Sir, I am only saying 6 versus 1. At least allow me to hear, sir.
No. Political debate. It's not 6 versus 1. Okay.
I am saying, sir. I am making my point very clear. Ministry of External Affairs have clarified why it is happening in India, why it is not happening in China, why it is not happening in America. Because in China and America, I have given you a reasoning why this is happening now, because our law enforcement agencies were sleeping. Millions of people, when BJP was not in power, just one line.
Okay.
Under Congress government, Congress Home Minister said, more than 3 crores Bangladeshi are in India. Am I right or wrong? Tell me honestly. Ask your person to do this research. At that time, BJP was not in power. Just, sir, allow me to complete my point. In Mumbai, in Mumbai, more than 40 lakhs or 20 lakhs, several parties were saying when BJP was not in power. Congress party was saying. Okay. So how they have come? So the issue is very simple. I am telling you very clearly. I don't want to mince my word. Whatever MEA has said, passport is a travel document, UID is a identification document, PAN card is a document for filing income tax. Okay. For certification, for your to prove your citizenship, you will have to give certain documents. I can give you the list.
Okay.
Like
Rajiv, I can only say, Rajiv, the only thing I'll say is that it wouldn't have been 6 or 5 versus 1 if Bhanu would have been in a different mood. Today Bhanu is in a different mood, so there is no help. Bhanu said it. He has his position, and I really respect him for that. When Bhanu takes certain positions on certain issues. Now let me just go to Asma, or else you would have had help. Asma.
First thing is, the BJP spokesperson spoke about Congress. Why dragging Congress on this entire issue? Did Congress ever say passport is not a citizenship, test of citizenship? Did ever Congress say this? Did ever Congress bring such? I'm saying, I'm asking you.
Honorable High Court has said.
The High Court judgment, so you are emulating it was by Congress. How could you even translate the judgment to Congress? Come on, be realistic. So the thing is, the question of immigrants which you asked, during the time of UPA, it was 88,000 immigrants who were sent back. What has BJP done in 12 years? Not even 2,000 immigrants were sent back. So don't you again drag Congress into this whole argument. And your meritless argument, one more thing, I want to just give a rebuttal on this. You said that, a person should approve the citizenship by bringing their birth certificate.
Turning my argument very clear. Please let me finish.
Let me finish.
I'm not commenting on your argument.
Okay.
Your leader is
Rajiv, let her finish.
Your leader is meritless. Why you are commenting about my argument? You can give your argument. Whether my argument is meritful or meritless will be decided by the people of this country, not by people like you.
So what is the defense? What is the defense for this not getting the citizenship? What should be the certificate then?
I can give you. I have given the list. I can give you the list.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Read Citizenship Act. You will come to know how to get the citizenship and what are the documents. Read Citizenship Act 1955. I will supply a copy.
Okay, Nikhil, and then to Bhanu. Okay, Asma.
Okay. I'm saying that what is the solution offered by the BJP government? Or let the BJP cabinet prove their citizenship first, then the citizens of India will follow them.
Okay, Nikhil. Then I'll go to Bhanu. Nikhil.
So again, let me correct, when the BJP spokesperson says that the Supreme Court had given a list of 18 documents, the Supreme Court had not given any list. It was the Election Commission of India, which for the preparation of the special intensive roles had come out with a list of 11 or 12 documents. The Supreme Court merely added the document of Aadhaar card in it. It was not the Supreme Court, number one. Number two, that was only for the preparation of the SIR roles. That in itself is not a proof of citizenship or non-citizenship, as has been made clear by the Election Commission, which is why after strenuous SIR exercises in multiple states, you don't have a single person being flagged as a non-citizen publicly by the Election Commission. They just say that we will tell to the Home Ministry. The Home Ministry is going to do whatever they're going to do with that. Also, a bizarre argument that I see coming from the BJP spokesperson is that when I go to China and China looks at my passport and says, oh boss, this is not a proof of your citizenship, so I can treat you as a non-citizen. He says, no. China ke liye to wo aap citizen ho. So basically, if I hold a passport, I am a citizen of India in China. I am a citizen of India for the entire world. But the same Indian government which issues me that very passport is saying, no, you are not a citizen, you may or may not be. Lastly, when he says that the law enforcement agencies have been sleeping, I think that is an insult to Dr. Azad, Mr. Azad on the panel. That's an insult to the IB, to the police forces, to the border security force. And let's not forget, it's been a government of Narendra Modi for the past 13 years. This is not an argument that you come and make, oh, law enforcement so rahi thi, vipaksh so raha tha, satta paksh so raha tha, sab so rahe the, siraf Modi ji aake sab jaag gaye. This is not the kind of argument I think your viewers want to listen.
जाग रहे हैं, don't worry.
जाग रहे.
इतना मत जगा दीजिए, जगा के भगा दें सबको सर.
27 lakhs.
बहुत ज्यादा जगा दें.
तो आपको दिक्कत हो गई. 27 lakhs लोगों का भी. I can tell you one more thing. It is not 27 lakhs in West Bengal. 27 lakhs are in trouble because they could not produce the document and they are fighting in the tribunal.
That's
In my opinion, it may be 50 lakhs.
Okay,
It may be 50
Bhanu.
lakhs
Sir,
who have
please
come
read the
from
media
abroad.
report.
Okay, Bhanu,
Media
Bhanu,
reportage.
Bhanu.
27 lakh had presented the documents.
Bhanu,
The ones
Bhanu.
we're talking about.
They are fighting in the tribunal, just wait.
Bhanu.
They will keep fighting. They won't get to
हाँ,
vote. It's all
हाँ,
right.
Baba,
That is New India.
Bhanu.
So, Karthikeya, since you needled me, I want to take recourse to quantum mechanics. Okay, there is something called Heisenberg uncertainty principle, which says that the very act of
Bhanu, I
looking at
missed
a
it.
subatomic
Bhanu, can you
particle.
repeat yourself again? I missed that line.
It's called Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, which says that the very act of looking at a subatomic particle changes the nature of the subatomic particle. Congress is like that. Okay, just the very fact that they are entering the debate delegitimizes the debate because they have not done anything so far. And the argument invariably it comes to Guzbetiyan, SIR, so on and so forth, which are highly irrelevant to the current debate. The current debate is about assuaging the minds and hearts of poor laborers, poor Indian citizens who are outside India and their family members. Period. And we have to focus on that. And tomorrow, or as soon as possible, we need to get a clarification from the Ministry of External Affairs saying
Can I add one thing, Bhanu, to you?
Passport for all practical reasons is valid proof of citizenship, except for very rarest of rare cases, and the media should make sure that they actually make that statement.
I thank you. I thank you for making that point so strong. The Election Commission officials have said that the Indian passports continue to be among the 12 valid supporting documents required by voters to prove their eligibility to be on the voters list under the ongoing special intensive revision of electoral rolls. And these officers were responding to a query following the controversy that arose after the MEA stated that the passport is not the proof of the citizenship. So I'm adding to what you are saying. So the clarification has come. Now I thank you. This clarification has come. So what does that mean? Can you just break it down, this news?
Well, what they're saying is that the government has already clarified, I think yesterday, that that if you are having a passport, it may not be the most important. It may not be the ultimate proof of citizenship or the only proof of citizenship, but it adds as one of the many documents you can have to be seen in correlation with to establish the fact that yes, you are citizen of the country.
Can I just add one line, sir?
I'll come to you. I'll take the closing comment for you, but I need to go to Bhanu. Bhanu, where is this? Can we locate the nature of the anxiety? Why is this citizenship issue or the issue of belonging, who you are, coming up again and again? Put it in that perspective, Bhanu, for us.
See, it should be like a very natural, fundamental thing, right? It's a question of identity, right? So think about somebody who's like outside India. Like what does he actually have to legitimize his identity in a foreign land, right? That's why it's very upsetting that the BJP spokesperson, where the party's motto is like country first, and also the very fact that many Hindus are working in theocracies and places where there's a majority religion is not Hindu, and you are actually putting them at harm's way. Why don't this person from Mumbai seems very sensible. Why don't you assuage the people's concern and not get into parties and things? Why can't you explain it to your own people? These are also Hindus, right? Why can't you explain it instead of fighting with the other lady who's Congressy? Right? I really don't understand. This is nitpicking is really not putting up a good show.
Okay. As I promised you, Rajiv, closing comment I'll take. From you. I'll take 10 seconds from you also, but Rajiv first.
No, let him come, then I will answer.
I'll try
to sum up his point also.
Nikhil.
Since Bhanu talked about Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, might I just say, I think we are all like Schrodinger's cat. Nobody knows whether we are citizens or not until the government decides to open the box and look.
Okay. Rajiv.
Sir, it's not like that. What government has done, what is the reason for this clarification? We have said further clarification will come. And that's not the issue. Is in this country, we are 140 crores country. Still, we do not have a single document which talks. That's why I'm not talking right now as a BJP spokesperson. There was the issue of National Register, NRC. Who opposed that? What is the problem with that? Once for all, at least for 3 generations, for passport, this is, again, I'm saying it's a bizarre argument that if I'm in China, I'm in America and then my passport, this is a bizarre comment. I don't want to talk about that. It is such a pathetic comment because in America, if you are there, they give the visa on Indian passport. So if anything you do wrong, you will be deported back to India, not to Siberia. Please, let's not go into that debate. I am saying in this country, like you are saying, you found it difficult or I find it difficult to get my passport done because I have to produce document. So why not there should be NRC? As an individual, I am saying, not a party fellow.
Okay.
There should be NRC. Let there be NRC, and all the people who have entered into this country illegally. They
my only point of view which differs from you, Rajiv, is that this is not an issue about Ghuspatia. There is a larger debate on, can we have simple processes to define bigger issues? Can we have a simple process to define who is a citizen? Can we have a statement on what passport will guarantee you? I think that is what is required.
But
I
we
think
should also not be forced into things like, for example, if you have a voter ID card, you have a passport. What was the need for Aadhaar
I think
card?
the larger issue, Brijesh, is the ambiguity.
Absolutely.
I think that ambiguity should
you have
be killed.
passport,
The debate is not
you have
on
passport,
whether the
voter
government
ID
has
card,
right to
driving
do this
license,
or that.
everything, and that can't be
I think
construed
the
as
larger debate is on that ambiguity around certain basic issues must be killed. What constitutes a citizenship? Who gets the right to vote? Whose right to vote gets cancelled? How? I think that ambiguousness is the larger issue. And on this note, I thank all of you and close this debate.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. But to my viewers, please don't go away because we are going to come to another debate. And that is Vijay's personal jibe on Stalin. Tamil Nadu politics has entered a bitter phase. What began as a clash between ruling TVK and DMK inside the assembly has now become personal. Chief Minister Vijay taking on leader of opposition Udayanithi Stalin asked a line that has now shaken the political space. Where is your father? It was not just a question. It was seen as a direct swipe at MK Stalin, the former Chief Minister, DMK chief, the man who is now outside the assembly after his shock defeat from Kolattur. And Stalin has now responded with a political counter punch. He says he may not be in the assembly, but he is in the heart of the people. That one line has now revived the biggest question in Tamil Nadu politics. What is happening? I will not waste much time. Brijesh Pandey continues to be with me, and R. Suresh Kumar, political researcher, is there with me. I'll straight away go to Suresh Kumar. Suresh, how did this start? Did Stalin start this, this whole thing? Or did Vijay start this? This entire thing, I know the Pushpa thing is slightly different, but it reminds me of that Pushpa thing.
It was first Tamil Nadu CM Joseph Vijay starting it in the assembly when he was speaking. It all started, he said indirectly, he showed like this and said, I'm not able to see. Whom? That means Stalin, because Mr. MK Stalin lost the elections from his home constituency, Kolattur. He started with that. And he made a remarks that party funding came through departments to the DMK. That was the time the leader of opposition, Udayanithi Stalin, strongly raised a point. If you have any, whatever you have details of that, let us know. Tell us that in the house. What party fund? How much party fund has come to?
But why are they making it? Why are